With warm greetings, I extend my warmest welcome to the talk show Education 4.0 for Safe, Sustainable Societies.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the talk show organized by Samurja Educational Society on the theme Education 4.0 for Safe, Sustainable Societies. We appreciate and applaud everyone, our panelists and participants, for zeal to share and passion to learn with Samurja. Samurja means the sum of creative energies. Here is a small video about Samurja.
Samurja Educational Society, established in the year 1991, has completed its gratifying journey of 3 decades. The society was conceptualized with the objective of educating children and preparing them to be morally upright and vocationally independent. Ever since its inception, the society has continued to take tiny steps forward, redesigning the educational fabric in all possible ways through various educational activities, besides conducting social outreach programs like the Girl Next Door and the Charity War. Samurja is constantly striving to change educators, learners, and elevating various organizations through training sessions, panel discussions, talk shows, conferences, and symposiums. The Society has also conceptualized and published periodicals and magazines for students and teachers. Samurja continues to explore new domains, trends, and landscapes to enrich the educators across the country by equipping them to resolve the academic challenges in their classroom to make teaching and learning more joyous and engaging. It also helps educators realize their vision and collaborate with national and international educators to have sustainable societies and a happy nation, thus redefining the paradigms of Indian education. Jai Hind, Namaskar.
You're muted, ma'am.
Yeah. ECC, Early Childhood Care and Education. According to UNESCO, early childhood is defined as the period from birth to 8 years old. It is a time of remarkable growth with brain development at its peak. During this stage, children are highly influenced by the environment and the people that surrounds them. ECCE is more than preparation of primary school. It aims at the holistic development of a child's social, emotional, cognitive, and physical needs in order to build a solid and a broad foundation for lifelong learning and well-being. ECCE has the possibility to nurture caring, capable, and responsible future citizens. In this way, ECCE is one of the best investments our country can make to promote human resource development, gender equality, and social cohesion, and to reduce the cost of for later remedial class programs. For disadvantaged children, ECCE plays an important role in compensating for their disadvantages in the family and combating educational inequality. In July 2020, the Ministry of Education released a new national education policy where schooling begins with the inclusion of ECCE from the age of 3. The policy states universal provisioning of quality early childhood development, care, and education must be achieved as soon as possible and no later than 2030. UNICEF has announced to support the implementation of recommendation under the NEP 2020 to support children's access to quality foundational learning from pre-primary, which includes the revision and development of an early childhood education curriculum and the school readiness program in partnership with NCRT, civil society, and private sector. To know more about ECCE, we have with us a dynamic, versatile academic leader, Ms. Suman Sood ma'am, Director of BD Schools of Group of Schools, Kolkata. May I request Suman ma'am to extend a verbal greeting.
Namaskar, and thank you for having me here. I'm really honored, and a very warm welcome to all those who are present here to listen to this session. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. I request Monica ma'am to please welcome and introduce our guest with the musical note. I would also like to introduce our mentors, Dr. Ashok Pandey sir, Director, Alcohol Group of Schools. He's always been innovative in his ideas. He has always extended his support, guidance to everyone whosoever approaches him. Our other mentor is Dr. Rajesh Asija sir, Director of Indraprastha Group of Schools, a leader with unique qualities. But he is too humble and so down to earth. We welcome all the participants. I request Suman ma'am to please share with us about ECCE content and pedagogies besides best practices you are doing in your school.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure and an honor to be here, and especially, be here on this platform, which is mentored by a person like Dr. Ashok Pandey. I think it would be a dream of any educator to be associated or to be guided by Ashok Pandey, sir. And my heartfelt thanks to Mukta ma'am for having me here, for inviting me over. So it is, I being an early childhood educator, I feel it's a great honor, not only an honor, it's a privilege to share my thoughts and views, because an early childhood educator is always a learner at heart. So thank you once again. And before I move on, I would like to share the screen. So, yeah. As you very beautifully put in my little bio note, I am privileged to be a British Council freelance consultant, ECA National Core Committee member, and looking after the BD Memorial schools in Kolkata. So we have branches of pre-primary and primary schools, and also associated with the primary sections of pre-primary and primary sections of Indus Valley and BDM International. So it's a great learning field. It's a great experience. Now, a little bit about me. This is what I feel. No, I'm not here to give theories about early childhood education and care, which have so beautifully been put in the beginning in a nutshell while you were explaining. So you've almost explained everything, probably left nothing for me. But what I'm going to do is, I just want to share my experiences in this field. I have been in this field and I've learned a lot, and I feel every day I'm learning more and more and more. So this quote I want to quote from Anatole France, and this is: the whole art of teaching is only the art of awakening the natural curiosity of young minds for the purpose of satisfying it afterwards. So this is my favorite quote. And right from the beginning, I wanted to be a teacher, and a role played as a teacher. I don't know how many of you did it. Probably all of us present here must have done it at some point of life or the other. Gathering children from the neighborhoods, I would make them sit, and if I would find no children, then it would be just an imaginary play, and I would be the teacher, and the desks and the chairs or the tables, or they would be the children. So it was like that with me. And while growing up, as children grow up, they keep changing their ambitions, they keep changing what they want to be. So I also changed mine, but ultimately I became a teacher, and then I moved on. And now when I look back, I find a great wealth of experience that I've gathered, and that is what I would like to share. And today I am just a passionate early childhood educator. So while talking about early childhood as an educator, I feel whatever way possible, we need to bring in as much of learning as we can into this sector. We have this feeling, and we think that children are they won't be able to understand, or they won't be able to grasp, or maybe they are too young to learn. But this is where I differ. I feel children are not ready to learn and grasp, even if they are not able to show their learning at that point of time. Somewhere in the subconscious mind, that stays. And this, I would again like to corroborate with an example, with something which I feel very proud of. And that was that while as director of Mongrace, which is a Montessori school, and it is totally based on Montessori learning, pure Montessori. So there at that time, being in the British Council School Ambassador, I was very keen to do in this International School Award. It was called at that time ISA, now it is IDA. So I wanted to do that with the little ones. And that involved a lot of activities. It involved the whole year of learning and collaboration with countries across the world. And when I approached the British Council person who was there looking after schools at that time in Kolkata, Mrigank Mukherjee, if he listens into this or if he sees this over Facebook, he will surely remember how it happened. And I approached him and I told him that I want to do this for our school. So he said, what, till which class is your school? I said, no, not till which class, ask me till which age. Our children are till the age of 5 years. So he said, 5 years, and you want to do ISA? How is it going to be possible? No, it's not going to be possible. So that's what he said. But I assured him that we'll do it, and ultimately we did it, and we became the first school in India first Montessori or the first preschool in India to achieve this International School Award, which was again followed by many other preschools, and which I had the opportunity to mentor. So this is one thing which I feel shows that children are never too small to learn. They are never too small to grasp or to gain. We can give as much of learning as we can to them, so they are ready to absorb. They are like sponges, that which is waiting to soak in as much of knowledge as we can give it to them. That is why we say when the brain is developing in the early years, it is like 97 or 98% of the brain already develops when the children are growing up. By the age of 8 years, from 0 to 8 years, they have the 98% of the brain develops. And these are the focus areas of learning and development. As you can see, there is physical development taking place at a very fast rate. Then there is taking care the personal, social, and the emotional development, literacy and numeracy development, communication and language development, understanding the world around them, expressive arts and design. So these are some of the areas which need to be focused when one is dealing with young children, to see that their fine motor skills, they develop properly, to see that their the social and emotional learning happens. And of course, communication and language development is one of the most important things which takes place at this time, and which forms the basis of all learning, and also understanding the world around them, the cognitive development. When children are seeing whatever they are seeing around them, this is how they grasp, and this is how they learn from the environment. That is why we say that give children a prepared environment. And when we give them a prepared environment, when we make things easy for them to learn and to understand, like we set up a toy corner in the house for the children. So while playing, they are automatically learning. So they are exploring, they are understanding, and they are absorbing. So learning happens. Learning is not being given to the child. It is just happening and taking place because of the environment that we create, or because of the world that we give around them to the children. So now, this I want to focus upon, and that is play. I feel play is serious business for children. Play and serious, are they contradictory? Yes, they seem so, but well, for children, play is the work of the child, as Dr. Maria Montessori said, and I believe in that. When a child plays, when a child explores, when a child learns, when a child experiences, or he acts or participates, and that is the time when the child is just learning. And this learning is happening, as I said earlier, just because of the children, when children are playing and exploring the world around them. Now let's look at the 6 stages of play. These stages of play are given by Mildred Parton. So that is unoccupied play, which happens when the child is very young, when they are infants from 0 to 2 years of age. At that time, they seem to be not involved in any play, but they're just responsive, and there are just they're stationary, but they may not be it doesn't seem as if they are involved in any kind of a play, but play is happening. They may be just moving their legs, or they may be just smiling, or they may be just trying to look at what is happening around them. And then that stage from 2 to 3 years is the onlooker play, when the child is just observing and looking at people playing around him. He doesn't seem to be concerned about, he seems to be, he doesn't seem to be really aware of what is happening around him, but he's just looking and observing. So this is also a kind of play which happens in the age of 2 to 3 years. And solitary play is from 3 to 4 years generally, when children, it may happen at a different age also, but generally the general age group is 3 to 4 years, when children are playing on their own and they are engrossed in play, they are they are just imagining things on their own. They don't need a partner. They don't need a peer here at this time, because the social skills have not yet developed. And then after that is a parallel play. You can see children playing side by side, but they're not aware of what the other child is playing. They are playing on their own. One child is playing on their own, another one is also playing on their own. And this, as educators, we may have noticed many times when children come into the schools at this age, 3 to 4 years. And at that time, we feel that, no, sometimes parents also, they get worried. They say that we don't seem to find children making friends. That's because they're not yet ready to make friends. They are into parallel play at that time. They are playing on their own, and they are observing that they're not even aware of the person sitting next to them playing. And associative play comes when children now start associating with objects, or they start associating with things. And at this time, they may be aware of what the other child is playing, and they may be just on they may be just seeing. And teamwork or the togetherness in play may come or may not come. So at this time, the child is now beginning to associate objects and toys and things with play, and also people with he's beginning to associate. And then the cooperative play is when all these other cognitive, social, and emotional learning has taken place, and or skills have developed. Then comes in the cooperative play, which is the ultimate form of play, when children are playing together, they're playing as a team, they are learning, and now the social skills are developing. So this, I'm sure as teachers, as educators, we've seen it happen, and we see these stages of growth and play. Then these are some of the terms. These are some of the, this is the vocabulary, which words which we as educators need to keep in mind when we are seeing children play. And do we give them a chance to do these every day? Touch, pour, turn, slide, hold, clap, roll, squeeze, look up, then carry, pinch, put in, take, out, kick, twirl, find, pull, down, shake, tumble, grasp, along, climb. All these are the terms which describe different kind of actions, which describe different kind of play, and which describe different kind of activities which we give to children. And these are the learning activities. So as parents or as teachers, are we giving our children a chance to do these every day, or at least some of these every day, if not all? Ideally, we should be giving them chance to do all of these daily. But in case we are not able to do all, at least more than half of these. So keep this in mind, and you will find that play is making children learn automatically. Then incorporating play into classrooms remotely. We are all into remote learning these days. And now the question comes, we can talk about all these words, we can talk about the environment, we can talk about all the different kinds of play, but what is actually happening? Are we able to incorporate the play into classrooms? Is it possible to do that? Yes, it is. And for that, I think as schools, we need to follow policies. We need to follow a play policy. And here I would really like to quote my mentor of Early Childhood Association, Dr. Swati Popat-Vats. And she is the one who has been talking a lot about play, and she has along with the other members, ECA has come out with a play policy. So I would request school heads and schools or preschools to incorporate a play policy, which is done in almost every country. The other countries, schools have a play policy. But here in India, we are unfortunately not giving much importance to play. You know, when children come to school and after 2 hours or 3 hours of their schooling, when they go home, the first question that mothers ask them is that what happened in school? What did they do? And if the child is not able to explain, because children generally are not able to explain what happened, because for them it is an experience. They're not able to put that experience into words, but they have been playing and they have been learning while they are playing. So parents, many times I've had parents coming up to me and saying that, "Mommy, the child never tells us what happens in class, and the child is not able to explain. They just says they just played." I said, well, if the child is saying that they just played, so that means be rest assured that the child is learning. So here, as parents, we need to change our mindsets, and we need to make sure that we understand the importance of play. What happens is, generally, when we are giving any work to the child, so what do we say? What do we do? We say, finish your work first, or finish the numbers first, or finish whatever the child is doing, and then play. So what are we doing? We are giving secondary importance to play. Whereas if we make learning into a playful activity, then we will not have to say that. We will be making the child learn through play. So it is important that we understand, as educators, as adults, we understand that play is the work of the child. So the different kinds of play are there. We all know the different kinds of play, but here again, we come back to this question that are we able to incorporate this into online learning? Yes, we can do it, and we have done it. And how is that possible? First, as I said, we have to make a policy for the school that play is our policy. And then we have to stress it upon the families that it is important for the child to play, and it is important for them to have both unstructured and structured play. So it is not that, the child, it is only a teacher-led activity, or it is only a child, it is only a parent-led or an adult-led activity. It has to be structured as well as an unstructured play. So we can then, schools can give assignments. They can give weekly assignments of play. Some kinds of forms of play, some games can be set up, some family games can be set up where parents and children together can play. Then parents can be encouraged to take pictures of children while they are playing and send it to the teachers or to the class. And that way, the teacher then can talk to the child about the play that happened a day before or the week before, or what did the child play. And children can set up, parents can be encouraged to set up play corners in the house. And so that children have this ready environment where they can just indulge in the different kinds of play. There can be board games with those board games together, when played with the family or played with an adult or played with peers, they add on to a lot of interesting, attention, they are as an attention grabber for the child. So all these activities can be done. Then play can also be taken as an assessment tool. When children are playing, a lot of questions can be asked. Teachers can observe what the child is doing, how the child is playing. So all this can be done through play. Then we have play. Now, this is another question. Will play be more important than ever in preschools when they reopen post-COVID-19? Yes, I think play has to take precedence at that time, because the children will come to us, they will not have played at all. And not in schools. So there'll be so much of anxiety, there'll be so much of stress. So when we have to incorporate creative practices like movement, writing, drawing, and develop their social emotional learning skills. We have to create an intentional time in the beginning and end of the day through which children can be connected to play with. And then the playground, bring playground games into the classroom. So there are different kinds of games which can be played in the class, like bingo, or there are word games, there is associative play, then there is imaginary play, there is role play. So schools have to make sure that this kind of we are talking about bridging the learning, but I think here we have to bridge the learning through play for these young children. So this is what needs to be done. And many of them will come to us without any social skills because they may not have had the possibility, or they may not have had the opportunity to be with their peer group. It has been very difficult for families and parents to connect with other families, and it was not even safe to do so. So now when children come back to us, at that time, we have to ensure that this social skill development takes place, and take place through maybe multimedia connections and different games. There are all available. So here again, screen time we have to use in a very appropriate manner. And we have been talking about play. So, and we have also we've been seeing that play has not actually has actually taken a declining seat. It is in fact becoming just a 4-letter word, and it has almost become extinct. I think that is extremely sad. We need to give this push. We need to make children we need to give them the opportunity to play. And why do we think that this is happening? Why is it happening that play is now almost extinct? Well, screen time is the main culprit. And what has been now a boon for us is also has been a curse in a way. But again, as I have been always maintaining, that technology is a wonderful tool. When used appropriately and according to age-appropriate methods, if we use it, there is nothing like this learning. This learning that happens is, as a tool, it is a wonderful tool. So this is what, as educators, we need to keep in mind. And one thing more which I think we need to understand is that now these days what happens is parents also, they feel scared. They have been doing that earlier. There are not many play areas. We are turning all the play areas into malls. So there is hardly any space left for children to play. As I remember, and many of my age group also, I think, will remember them in their childhood. We used to be playing out in the garden for long, long hours. In fact, our deadline used to be as soon as the sun sets, you have to be home. And we were like just up on the trees or running around. We had place to play, and there was safety in play. So now maybe we don't really, I should not be blaming this generation, because there are hardly any areas left for children to play safely. And then outdoor play is also not much encouraged by parents because of various reasons. Sometimes they don't, sometimes for a simple reason like parents don't have the time, or to take children out to a garden or take them out to a park. So for safety reasons, they have them strapped to the back, or they have children, we strap them onto the chairs. So we feel happy, okay, the child is safe and happy, but that physical activity is not happening, the play is not happening, and also, we are not giving them enough scope to run around. We are scared children might fall and hurt themselves. So we need to allow them to take risks. This risk taking is a part of learning, part of growing up. So this needs to be done. And next is like, we have been talking about technology, and I did this research as a research project, for which I was also awarded the Global Teacher Award. If I don't know if my mentor Manjula Di may be here attending. If she is, my pranam and regards to her, because she was my mentor, and it was really wonderful to be mentored by her for this project. And at that time, technology should it be used for children was a very debatable topic. And how far we can go with technology and how much technology we can give to them. So this is a little glimpse of the activity that happened, the project that I did. So this was like a lot of innovative ideas, tools were used for enhancement of learning in preschool children. And one such idea was shared technology time. So parents, they shared the technology with their with the child. Together they did activities, they shared the screen, and so they were like co-players, and the adult was the mediator and the child was the co-player. And then different images were there on the screen, and children asked questions to parents, parents asked questions to children. So that way they could make the connection between object on the screen and the written label, the same way as we do reading from the books. And that way, and now, after all these years, when we've been debating about this, all these years, past 2 years, we have seen that children have been doing nothing but online reading only. So this has been happening. So at that time, it was a kind of a debatable question. And then that debatable question, this research was done by me with some children, and found that when they did it as a shared technology, this really enhanced their learning. And children who were not able to speak, or children who were not able to read, there was a vast difference in their skills by the time they did a few of these activities. Then there was also this lot of sort of songs, role play, nursery rhymes. They were videotape. So and after that, they were played again on the screen. And the child did self-assessment, because what happens is with the videos, with the songs like, these nursery rhymes, what happens is that children, they learn the tune, but they don't learn the words. And very often they are just mixing up the words. So to increase that language development, to ensure that language development took place through technology, that was the whole idea of the project. And with that, the rhymes were videotaped, and then played on the screen. And the child, after listening to the rhyme, the child understood where the child was going wrong. So it was a kind of a self-assessment, and it turned out to be a wonderful tool. And children could correct themselves. And after 2 or 3 times, when they did the video recording again, and when it was played again, we found again there was a great learning that had happened, and children could see that development in them. So their expression improved, their fluency improved, and they could learn in a better way. And then there was development of vocabulary. So there were some children who were very shy, and they were not able to speak in full sentences. So the same concept was used for them. So they were given sentence. They spoke those sentences which were videotaped and then played again, and then the child understood, and they slowly grew in confidence, and they could increase their vocabulary through such activities. And a lot of interactive digital softwares were used with to learn phonics. And now we have so many different games which are there online. So I'm sure as resources teachers are using, and they can search the Google Net, and they can use more and more of these resources. And so these kind of games, these kind of activities, they help children to give them a sense of accomplishment, that little bit of a goal when they achieve, and they are able to see that little bit of development in themselves. So they feel that, wow, I can do it. So this feeling that I can do it is essential for a teacher to develop in a child. So here again, my small little experience that I would like to share with all of you is that when I was a teacher in Birla High in year 1991 or 1992, at that time I was teaching class 3. So there was this little child in my class who used to always shun other children, would sit in the class, and he would have a runny nose, and he would not mix up with anyone. But he was very fond of reading. So seeing that ability, seeing that interest in reading in him, I made him the book monitor, book corner in charge. So he became the book corner monitor. And somehow that helped him to overcome his shyness and gave him that sense of achievement. And he became quite a shining student after that, and he did well. And ultimately, just about 5 or 6 years ago, he happened to connect with me over Facebook, and he reminded me of this incident. And he said, remember, ma'am, I'm that same Saurabh that you taught in class 3, who had a runny nose, and you gave me the book monitor to be the book monitor in charge. And see where I am today. So today he is one of the topmost barristers of Kolkata, doing so well. And I'm really, really very proud of him. So this is a reward that we as teachers, we as educators get when we see our children doing well. So little bit of encouragement, little bit of push in the right direction, and children can reach places. Then there were some other activities were there, like filling up the given blanks in the forms in the sentences. So all these were in the form of a story. So when children see a story, and then they are able to do those activities, drag the word down to the right place, and they are able to understand the language proficiency that develops. So this is how, through action plan, through research, I was able to put this forward, and I was able to give a little bit of a proof that yes, age appropriately, if we use technology and if we integrate technology into education, learning happens, and it definitely helps to improve language, especially for preschool children. So that way, I think my journey towards awakened and innovative mentoring and quest for excellence continues. And I'm very proud of my team at BD Memorial and at IVWS and BDMI, all preschool teachers. They are doing a wonderful job, and they are making sure that learning happens in the right way. And I'm sure with this kind of a mindset, our children will soon be able to be lifelong learners. So as educators, this is what we want. We want them to just be lifelong learners. So I would welcome questions, if any. Do we have any questions? If any questions are there, if someone can type and put it up.
Ma'am, there is one question in the question.
Is there a question?
How much time limit should we allow our children to watch times on phone or TV?
Yeah, actually, basically, see, what I feel is that the time limit, screen time at one time should not exceed half an hour. This is what the regulations, or the WHO has also given us these rules and regulations, that at one session for a child should not be more than half an hour. So we should try that. And also what we need to try is that not make children passive learners. We need to ensure that children, we are interacting with children, even when we are giving them screen time. It's not that, we give the screen or a phone as a babysitter to a child, and then the parents or the adults, they are doing their work. They feel okay for half an hour, the child is set, or we give it to the child when the child is eating, and we feel okay, now that the child is looking at this, and at least the child will eat. So all these things we should avoid, and as much as possible we should avoid them, and we should ensure that the learning is happening. But screen time, when we are giving it to the child, it has to be a very interactive screen time, where the child, the adult is also involved, asking questions, making sure that the child is not sitting there and just becoming a passive learner. Another one is there, what should be the appropriate age to introduce writing in the age group of 3 to 5 years? 4 years. I very strongly feel about that the writing should be introduced not before 4. However, the 3.5 onwards, or even 3 onwards, if a child's hand is a little stable, then we can give them pre-writing exercises. So we need to give them, as much as possible, we need to give them these pre-writing exercises. We need to make them scribble, we need to give them coloring, we need to give them and here again I would like to emphasize, when we give them coloring should not be started with crayons. We should give them color pencils right from the beginning, because when we give them crayons to color with, so they get used to that soft pressing of the crayon, that grip becomes soft, and when they're pressing it also, that press is not how it should be while writing with pencils. Also, ultimately they're writing with pencils. So we right from the beginning, we should ensure that 3.5 onwards we give them color pencils and not crayons. And before that, that's tracing of letters, then the scribbling is very important, and it not only satisfies their urge to express themselves, it also helps to strengthen their muscles and the eye and all the activities which are there for the hand, finger and eye coordination. Those activities like threading and of the beads, or lacing. So those kind of activities are very important for children. Then we have, since the kindergarten children have been home bound for more than 18 months now, what guidelines should teachers follow to encourage their social skills, and how can we start preparing them online? A very good question, Anubhaji. Yes, they have been home for more than 18 months, right? So what I feel is that here, some way can be found out if parents are still avoiding physical meetings with other children, then at least with the help of teachers or with the help of law, they can have sessions like meet and greet, then they can ensure that children one-to-one, little bit of peer connection is there, even if it is online. Then also with the help of parents, some small groups can be made, play dates can be set up for them. So that way their social skills will improve, their social interaction will improve. So this is what I feel can be done. And we have been following this and it has given wonderful results also. So I think you can try that. So do we have any more questions? So I think that's it. Anyone would like to ask any more questions here? Well, it's been wonderful interacting. It has been wonderful sharing my experiences. So my heartfelt thanks to Samurja Educational Society, to Muktaji and the whole team. You have been wonderful. And also I would take this opportunity to, tell all the viewers here that for play policy, they can log on to ECCE website and it is available there and you can easily download from there. I am typing here the website ECCE.org. So from here, you can take this policy of play and you will find that this will be very helpful for you and for your schools, and a lot of ideas you can gather from that. So, anyone else for any questions? I think we have another question there. Yes, chat box as well, ma'am, on bilingual teaching. Okay. Let's go to the chat box. Bilingual teaching. What is, can you see the question? Please tell what is the ideal age a child should start writing and scribbling. I think this question is there by, yeah, the age for writing and scribbling can be 3 onwards. You can give them 3 onwards. And by the time they reach 3.5, some kind of pattern writing or some kind of, the sleeping lines and standing lines, those kind of things, if a child is ready for it, because we have to see individually. We don't have to see it as a group activity. We have to go individually with each child. So each child is unique. Each child has a different capability. So if we go do group learning here, or we say that this child has reached this age, so he should be doing that. So we should avoid the should here and try to go follow the child. That is what I feel as an educator. We must always keep in mind that follow the child. Any other question? One more question is there, I think. I have just sent the name of the website. I'll send it again. I think somebody's missed it. ECCE-APER.org. So this is the website that can be followed. Yes. Any other question is there?
Anybody would like to ask any question?
Manjula Di was there. She said, I'm listening, Suman. Thank you, Manjula Di. Okay. Anyone else for any other question? should we say thank you? So thank you again, everyone. Some new messages, knowledgeable session. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I, Kriti Kapoor, on behalf of Samurja Educational Society, would like to thank our key speaker, Mrs. Suman Sood ma'am, for enlightening us with her knowledge. Today's talk show was full of knowledge and gave deep insights in the topic. I would also like to thank Dr. Mukta Mishra ma'am for giving us opportunity to organize such informative talk show. I want to thank the team Samurja and Monica ma'am who really work hard for this talk show to be successful. Also, thank you all the participants present here for paying your attention and learning here. Once again, thank you everyone. Namaskar. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.